Hello and welcome to Explorer. I am Didi and once again I am here with a new poster illustration for those who are new to my channel. Here I make and help you learn designing in Photoshop, discuss about various tools and tips and tricks in Photoshop. As you all know, Indian Premier League is on and in my country everyone is obsessed with cricket. For us, cricket is not just a game, it's a religion, and in this particular time we all have the same religion. So I thought, why not celebrate the festival of cricket in my own way and draw some inspiration from my god of the game, Mahendra Singh Dhoni. So today's illustration is dedicated to him. I will be sharing the download link of the poster at the end of the video so that my friends, you all can also download, print and put it in your room and be inspired every day. So without any further ado, let's get started. We'll start off by creating a new document and opening a new canvas. We will be selecting poster A4 size. If you want a bigger poster, then you can go for poster A2 size or whatever you like. Our canvas is open and now we'll bring our first image. This image I got from the internet. You can search on the Google for your image. Since I don't know whether it is copyright protected or not, I will be basically using it for personal purpose and I will recommend you to do the same, because since you are not sure, and if you are sure of an image, you can go for commercial use also. So firstly we will be removing the background and isolating our subject layer. So to do that, we'll select the image layer and then go to quick selection tool. At the top we have the select subject button. Just click it and Adobe's AI, that is Adobe Sensei, will do its work, and after that we will refine as per our need. Since the quick selection tool is selected, you can just adjust the brush size by clicking on the bracket keys and adjusting your brush size, and go on adding where AI has left. Don't worry about the hair part, we will do it later on. Let's see the other parts of the body, whether it is okay. Yeah, most of them are looking good. So what we'll do is we will click on the layer mask button. Now if you want to see whether your mask is selected in a proper way, you just go here and right click and add a solid adjustment layer. You can go for any color and now you can see whether it is left or whichever part is left, we can go on adding. Then let's change your background color to some other color. And since we will not be keeping the same image, we will be changing and adding some effects on this image, so it doesn't matter if there are some minute discrepancies there, you can ignore them. We will be changing the background color to our desired color. We'll make it yellow. You can choose any color you want. Now our layer mask is ready, and now if you can see, you will see that some fringing is there around our subject's border. So what we will going to do is we will select the layer mask and go to filter, then others, and then set to minimum, and one minimum radius is 1. If you can see, now the fringing has gone. You can play with the slider and see what is the result you get best with this one, and then hit OK when you are satisfied. Now what we'll do is we will make a duplicate of our layer mask by pressing Command or Control J, and we will convert this layer into a smart object, and we will turn off the visibility of the layer mask. Now what we'll do is we will add an effect which is called Posterize. So for that, what we'll do is we will select the smart object subject layer and then go to filter, and here we will find filter gallery. Let me just drag it a little bit so that you can see it properly, like this, and now we will zoom out a little bit so that we can see the whole image. And now here we have we have to select the effect in the artistic folder, the cutout. It is by default, it is already selected. If it is not, then select the cutout folder, cutout effect. Then what we'll do is we will play with this slider to achieve our desired result. The first slider is the number of levels. The number of levels here indicate the number of colors which will be included in our effect of posterize. Like if you slide it to our extreme left, then you will see only 2 or 3 colors are there, and hence the details will be less. Let us now settle down for 7 for the time being. We can change it later on. Next is edge simplicity. This is regarding the edges here. If you can see, we can simplify this. These are jagged, too much of details is there. So especially in the posterize effect, we don't want that. So what we'll do is we'll simplify the edge like this, then it will become a little bit simpler. And also the edge fidelity. You just go on playing with the sliders so that you can see the difference for yourself. And now what we'll do is we will create 2 layers of the same thing with different edge simplicity. So what we'll do is firstly we will only focus on the body part, not the face part. Hit OK when you are satisfied, and now we will rename it. Now once again we will duplicate this by pressing Ctrl or Command J, and once again rename it to Cutout 2 and go to our filter gallery once again, and this time we will be focusing on the face. Now we will create a negative layer mask. For creating a negative layer mask, what we will do is we will hold down the Alt or Option key and click on this layer mask button. Now it has not selected anything, we have to reveal that. So now we will go to our brush tool, select a soft round brush, foreground color is white, adjust your brush size. This time we will be working on the face part only, body is okay for us. Once again go to our move tool and we will create another duplicate layer of the cutout 1 layer by pressing Command J and bring it at the top. Rename it as cutout 3. Go to our filter gallery, and this time we will be focusing on the eyes, the ears and the nose, the facial features basically. And once again we will be creating a negative mask of our cutout 3 layer and selecting the brush tool. Foreground color is white and the brush will be our soft round brush. Adjust your brush size. Now it is okay for us. Once again go back to our move tool. Now what we'll do is we will add a new layer, and this one we will rename it as paint correction. In this layer what we will do is we will select the brush tool and we will select the color from here, and we will simplify further the edges. Like, let me show you once. Hold down the Alt or Option key to turn your cursor into a color picker. Now pick a color, like for this one, click. Now adjust the brush size and now you can paint. Okay, before that change the brush to a hard round brush. We don't have to do it extensively, we will just do it a little bit. This much will be okay for us. Then we'll go back to the move tool, and what we are gonna do now is we will group all these layers from paint correction to our cutout 1. So for doing that, hold your shift key, select the paint correction layer and go back to our cutout 1. All the layers will be selected. Press Command G to group. You can rename the group. Now once again we will create a duplicate of this layer and convert this to a smart object. Rename it as Dhoni's face. Turn off the visibility of the cutout final group. Once again duplicate the layer by pressing Command J. The lower at the top will be Dhoni's face and the layer beneath it will be the body. Okay, let's work with the face first. So we will turn off the visibility of the Dhoni's body layer. We will create a layer mask, and with the brush tool, now we will once again select the soft round brush, and foreground color will be this time black, because we will be hiding some of the parts. Adjust your brush size, make the brush size a bit bigger, and now paint. If you have erased some places which you want to stay in your selection, you can always switch between the foreground and background color with the help of X on your keyboard, and you can once again reveal. Okay, our face part is done. Go to back to move tool, and now we will be working with the second layer, that is Dhoni's body. So for that we will be turning on the visibility of this layer and turn off the visibility of the face layer for the time being. We will select the body layer and go to filter, then we go to Liquify. Now what we'll do is make sure this icon is checked, and now we will drag. If you need, you can also adjust the brush size. When you are satisfied, hit OK. Next we will add a layer mask to this Dhoni's body layer and turn on the visibility of the face layer also. And now what we'll do is we will select the brush and change our brush to explosion brushes. This is a custom brush. I will leave the link of the same so that you can find it, and you can also work with the same in your illustrations. Let's rotate the brush, make the foreground color is black. Or before that, what you can do is you can make the layer mask negative, that is, it will not select anything. Let's delete the earlier layer mask and create a new one by holding the Alt or Option key on your keyboard. Now adjusting the brush size with your bracket keys, make the foreground color as white by pressing the X key on your keyboard, and now paint to reveal. This explosion brush is a set of around 15 or 13 brushes, so you can, if you want, you can change the brush also. After achieving the desired result with our explosion brushes, now we will change the brush to a soft round brush, and we will erase some of the parts over here. So for doing that, let's add some guides just to keep us in track, and now we'll erase this part. Let's remove the guides. If you want, you can adjust the flow also. I think you got the idea, and you can do whatever you want. You can go on with the process as much as you want. So let's move on to the next step, and in this step what we'll do is we'll add some adjustment layers to both of this, the face and the body layer. Firstly, let's take the face. Let's add an adjustment layer which is black and white, and let's clip it to our face layer. Now we will add another levels adjustment layer to adjust the, and now we will be copying these two layers, this levels adjustment layer and black and white adjustment layer, to the body also. So for copying, you can just press Command C on your keyboard, and selecting the body layer you can paste. Once again clip it with the body layer. For the body layer we can adjust the levels adjustment layer slider a little bit more, give it a darker effect. Okay, now this is done. Next is we will just link the face and the body layer, or otherwise what you can do is you can group all these layers into one. For grouping, you select the topmost layer, then hold the shift key and come to the bottom layer, that is Dhoni's body, and press Command G on your keyboard. We will once again create a duplicate of this layer. This will be our final, and we will turn off the visibility of the group 1, and this one we will convert it to a smart object, and now we can place it wherever we want. If you see some part is left, you don't have to worry for that one. Create the smart object final layer and go to the eraser tool Now everything is set, opacity to 100%, flow to 100%. You can just erase it. Before that it will ask for rasterizing the layer, so you can go for it. And now we'll erase the extras. Or otherwise, if you don't want, because erasing is a destructive process, you can't restore it back. If you want to restore it back, then you should do it in this group layer, or you can double click on the smart object and go there and edit it. Then it will be a non-destructive process. For this purpose it was a small thing, so why we don't want that. And let's now move on to our next step, where we will be adding one more image. This should be at the top. And here also we will be just separating the subject. For that, once again go back to quick selection tool and then click on select subject. Zoom in to see whether any part is left. It will be a very small image, so you don't have to be so precise and also we will be changing the effect, so at least for in this case you can ignore the precision part. Let's create the mask by clicking on the add layer mask. Once again there are some fringing. To remove the fringing, what we do is select the layer mask, then go to filter. Here we have others, then minimum. I think 1 pixel is enough. You don't have to play with the size slider for this case. Press OK, go back to move tool, keep it over here to refine some of the things we have here. For that, select the layer mask and go to brush tool and change your brush to hard round brush, and this time flow, keep the flow to 100%. I think this will serve our purpose. So back to move tool and let's place it. Let's refine this part a little bit more. And selecting the layer mask, go to brush tool and change your brush to soft round brush. Adjust the brush size. Now we'll be adding some effect to the second image which we have recently masked. So to do that, select our layer mask and go to some adjustment layer. Firstly we will apply a hue saturation adjustment layer, and we will make the saturation totally negative, so means lower the saturation, and clip it, the hue saturation layer, to our second image layer like this. Now if you want you can adjust it a little bit. You can also play with the hue slider. Next we again will add a levels adjustment layer to the same layer. Let's add some little bit of noise to give it a natural look. To add a noise, go to filter, select the layer, then go to filter, here noise, then add noise. When you are satisfied, hit OK. Now we'll add some text layers to it. For adding the text layer, go to our text tool, click anywhere on the canvas. Here we will be typing 7 because 7 is the jersey number of Mahendra Singh Dhoni. Go back to our move tool and increase the font size. If you want, you can change the font also from here. Now we will be giving some effect to this. Firstly we'll be changing the color. Then to add some effects, we will be double clicking on this layer. The blending option will be open. Now we'll give it a stroke effect. For strokes, our color will be white. You can increase the stroke size. Let's keep it to 10, and if required we will change it later on. Let us resize as per our requirement. Now we will change our text layer into a smart object, then apply a layer mask and taking the brush and selecting the soft round brush, foreground color is black, opacity 100, flow 100, and we will paint over it to hide some areas. We will add another text layer and type whatever we want. Go back to move tool. And this time we will be changing the font. I'll be selecting this one, Vonic 64. You can choose whatever font you want. Increase the character spacing a little bit. and this time we'll be selecting the color to a little bit darker, and now we'll rotate the text and align it to this line. Once again, go back to our layer mask of the text layer 7. Again, take the brush tool, and this time we'll be selecting the hard round brush. Adjust the brush size, and we'll be hiding this part. And lastly, to add a little bit of glow effect or halo effect behind our image layer or subject layer, what we will do is select the subject layer, and we go to ellipse tool, click on it, and holding down the shift button, or you don't have to do that, you just draw an ellipse, select the color, fill color to white and the stroke colors to none, and now we will give it a blur effect by going to the filter, then the blur, we will select Gaussian blur. Before that, it will ask us to rasterize or convert it to smart object, whatever you like you can do, and place this ellipse beneath the subject layer. Now once again we will resize it. With this we have completed our poster illustration, and I hope you will like the poster and also enjoyed the process of creating it. And here is the download link of the same, which I have promised you in the beginning. Feel free to download it and have it in your room and be inspired. If you like the video, please give it a thumbs up and share it with your friends. And for more poster making videos like this, please subscribe to Dexplorian. I'll be back with a new poster illustration very soon. Till then, take care and keep creating. Bye.